Hello and welcome to the Breeders' Cup Challenge recap series, where we take a look back at some of the most pivotal races en route to the Breeders' Cup November 4th and 5th from Keeneland Racecourse. Brittany Ayrton alongside Scott Hazelton. Scott, do we feel like we're starting to get a clearer picture of some of these divisions now?
Yeah, I think we are, and especially when it comes to the Breeders' Cup Classic division with the Whitney taking place this past weekend at Saratoga. We're starting to see some of these big names come together. There's only so much during the course of the year in which they can try to find their own paths, but they're coming together, and we saw that this past weekend with big names such as Life is Good and Olympiad competing in the Whitney. Yeah,
we had some of the top older handicap horses in the division facing off against one another. So the Whitney Stakes, a win and you're in for the $6 million Longines Breeders' Cup Classic. What else was on the line, though, besides an automatic entry into that race? Well, $150,000 in entry fees paid by the Breeders' Cup, $10,000 award to the nominator, and also up to $10,000 in a travel allowance if those horses are based outside of Kentucky. So a lot was on the line this past weekend at Saratoga Racecourse. Let's see how it unfolded.
So it's Life is Good, Hot Rod Charlie, Happy Saver has come through down on the inside, and Olympiad is next, and they're moving for the 8th pole. Down on the inside, it is Happy Saver trying to get to Life is Good. Life is Good now moves down to the inside. Happy Saver had a veer there, and then it is Hot Rod Charlie, and they're coming for the finish. It is Life is Good still in front. Life is Good is the winner by 2 lengths.
Life is Good added another prestigious Grade 1 to his resume for Irad Ortiz Jr., Hall of Famer Todd Pletcher, China Horse Club, and WinStar Farm. Saratoga, Scott, is known as the graveyard of the favorites, but not so for Life is Good.
No, he was in front by, what, 2-3 lengths in a matter of it would seem like 2 seconds when he left the starting gate. He just bounded away from the starting gate. You got to watch it in its entirety to get a real sense of how Life is Good was able to pull this one off, and it was pretty straightforward. He did veer there late. Irad took him down to the inside. A little race riding there, however you want to approach that, with Happy Saver coming up on the inside. Happy Saver's never going to get there. Happy Saver is one of those horses that always shows up in these races, in my opinion. You can't sleep on him. The disappointment, though, Brittany, in this race on Saturday was Olympiad. He was just an absolute no-show. Maybe it was Saratoga. Maybe getting away from Saratoga would be a plus for him over a faster, tighter racetrack. Saratoga's always known to be a little bit more on the deeper side, but Life is Good. Climbing the ranks. Now, you know, some people will question, does he really want to go a mile and a quarter? I don't think you can hold the Dubai World Cup against him. That racetrack was extremely slow that evening.
Okay, that race, a mile and a quarter. The Whitney, a mile and an eighth. Okay, it was not just the Whitney with a win and you're in for a Breeders' Cup race. On the East Coast, we're going to take you to the West Coast, where the ladies had a spot in the line in the Longines Breeders' Cup Distaff in the Clement L. Hirsch Stakes, a Grade 1 event from Del Mar. Of course, automatic entry. What else at stake? $60,000 in entry fees paid by the Breeders' Cup, $10,000 award to the nominator, and that travel allowance of up to $10,000. Let's hear Trevor Denman, the Grade 1 Clement L. Hirsch.
She Dares the Devil at the Royal Desert Dawn, plugging away from third. Homeward bound in the Clement Hirsch, and it's Blue Stripe in full flight for the wire. Blue Stripe in front by 2.5 with a 16th to go. And Blue Stripe and Hector Berrio have won the Grade 1 Clement L. Hirsch. Close then for second. Desert Dawn just touched She Dares the Devil.
We've seen a lot of upsets at Del Mar lately, but here in the Grade 1 Clement L. Hirsch, as Blue Stripe gets that Grade 1 victory and secures her spot in the Breeders' Cup Distaff, a first Grade 1 for the jockey Hector Berrio, and Marcelo Polanco has done a wonderful job with her. What did you make with the upset?
This is a filly on the rise. This, to me, should not be, now as you look back at it, a surprise, because she was a graded stakes winner in the past coming in. She's a half-sister to Blue Prize, who was a Grade 1 winner, multiple Grade 1 winner of the Spinster, Juddmonte Spinster at Keeneland, and also won the Breeders' Cup Distaff. So this is her younger half-sister. The pedigree is there. She's obviously getting better. She Dares the Devil, maybe age is catching up a bit with her as well. Desert Dawn, she could be on the rise, but Blue Stripe, the half-sister to Blue Prize, certainly has to be respected in the distaff ranks, which are extremely deep. I mean, take your pick in this division.
It's an exciting division, that's for sure.
Who do you got?
Oh, Clairiere, Malafat, and now
Unreal.
Blue Stripe. Let's check in with Andy Biancone, who's live on site at Del Mar for more.
Brittany, we're standing by with Blue Stripe and her trainer, Marcelo Polanco. Marcelo, this filly ran in the distaff last year. Do you notice any improvements from last year to this year?
Oh, a lot of improvement. I believe from the day one, I did talk to the Argentinian trainer, Nico, and he told me how she was, how beautiful she was, how tender she was, and he was absolutely right. I mean, it's so easy to get along with her.
Do you think it's going to be a huge advantage this year, having had some races here in America under her belt?
Oh, absolutely. I think she blooms so much now, and you see it. She's look spectacular.
Even just hearing the replay of the race call in my ear, I get goosebumps. What impressed you the most about her win in the Clement El Hirsch?
Oh, I was so impressed. I mean, when I went to see the horses at the receiving barn, and my owner, the manager, Fernando, he told me, look at the size on the other fillies. So I got kind of a little scared, but then she showed so much class walking into the ring and getting saddled up, and everything was so classy for her. So you can feel that she was very into the racing that day. So that gave me a little bit of hope in the race.
Marcelo, you also had Hector Barrios in the irons, who came out from Gulfstream Park to ride the summer meet here at Del Mar. Was it special having him on the horse, having known him back from Chile?
Oh, absolutely. The kid is a great kid as a person, as a jockey, and good personality. And we know each other for many years, so it was great. I mean, having this filly with him, it did give me a little bit goosebump too.
Thank you so much, Marcelo. Keep an eye out for Marcelo and Blue Stripe in the Breeders' Cup Distaff. Let's go back to Brittany.
Thank you both. Bleep button at the ready there. Our apologies for the cursing. Yeah, but it was really nice to hear from Marcelo there. You could obviously see what he was speaking of in terms of Blue Stripe, how kind she is. Yep. Don't worry about the larger horses in that race. She is all heart, and absolutely, I think, one horse that you have to consider in terms of the distaff. Pulled the upset, but you won't look for that same prize in terms of moving towards Keeneland. The Breeders' Cup Classic, though, let's take a look back to that in the Breeders' Cup Classic rankings. You vote as a part of the panel that each week decides who their top 10 horses are. We did see a shakeup after the Whitney, especially in terms of Olympiad dropping from 2nd to 6th. Life is Good at moving up to 2nd. What do you make of this leaderboard versus how you put it together?
Well, I don't have a problem with it. I need to see one from Flightline. That's why I've not voted for him, and I'm not making this about me. I'm not voted for him number 1 yet because he's not gone 2 turns, so he still has to do it. I've got Epicenter on top. Life is Good second, but I mean, these are interchangeable. These top 3, if they stay on the path that they look to be on right now, they are going to be the top 3 as far as favoritism moving forward. Charge, it's kind of the wild card. Can he step forward off of that very impressive performance in his most recent one? We'll see it. Obviously, the waters get deeper, but this is a good group. The Classic division, the Distaff division, Brittany, I mean,
it's deep.
marquee
It's exciting.
names for the 2 marquee races that we have Breeders' Cup weekend at Keeneland.
And that's what you want it to be, right? You want it to be these competitive races. So 2 of the many premier races at the Breeders' Cup at Keeneland. They had winning your in races last weekend. Let's take a look at what we have coming up this weekend. Turf is really taking this front stage here. Upcoming races on Saturday the 13th and Sunday the 14th. We have a win and you're in for the Filly and Mare Turf division. The Beverly D Stakes, the FanDuel Mile has 2 races, allowing entry into that race, the 4-Star Dave and from France in Deauville. So lots of exciting racing there. The Turf division is always deep, always fun, and always has an international presence. And how about we see a lady taking on the boys? They're expected to see Regal Beauty in the 4-Star Dave. So take a look at those win and you're in races for the Breeders' Cup Challenge Series, all en route to Keeneland. It's an exciting time. I can't believe it's going to be here in no time, really.
Less than 3 months away. Only a couple more opportunities for these horses. The schedules that they keep as far as getting ready for these big races, a couple more times, and then it's game time when it comes to the World Championships in Lexington. And
we will have all of those recaps right here for you on the Breeders' Cup Challenge Series recap show. For Scott Hazelton, I'm Brittany Urton. We'll see you next week.